Have you ever caught yourself doing something and realized you're not even thinking about it? You're just going through the motions? Like your words, your gestures, even your laughter are running on autopilot? And for a second it hits you. Are you living this life or just performing it? It's a strange feeling, like watching yourself from the outside while still somehow being trapped inside your own story. And then you start noticing it everywhere. I was thinking about how much of daily life is influenced by other people's expectations. Your friends, your family, your coworkers, everyone projects ideas of who you should be. And over time, you internalize them. It's subtle at first. You adopt phrases, reactions, even postures without realizing you're mimicking something you think is you. And suddenly you're acting in ways you didn't consciously choose, just because it's familiar, socially acceptable, and easier than questioning it. So now I'm wondering, are we really living, or just performing the version of ourselves everyone else accepts? And it gets weirder when you think about the little internal scripts we all carry. Thoughts like, I have to be productive, I should act happy, or I need to succeed. These aren't necessarily bad, but they create a framework that guides our actions without conscious awareness. Studies in social psychology show that people often mirror the behaviors and emotions of those around them without realizing it, sometimes even changing their own preferences to fit in. So now I'm sitting here. Are you expressing yourself, or just acting out of someone else's version of you? Then there's this role of habits. Your brain loves efficiency, so it creates routines that allow life to run smoothly, but at a cost. Those routines can become autopilot performances. You go through the motions, check off boxes, smile when you're tired, nod when you're bored, and all of the while, the real you, the observer, sometimes just sits back, watching. And I'm not saying routines are bad. They're useful. But what's fascinating is that you can live a week, a month, even years, and only occasionally check in with yourself to see if you're truly present. Which makes me wonder, how much of our life is being watched rather than experienced? And then there's a social media layer, the curated self we post online. It's almost like rehearsing a role for an audience we'll never fully know. You act, edit, select, filter, and your life becomes a performance in ways you don't even notice. Psychology studies suggest this can reinforce patterns of performative behavior in real life, making it easier to act in expected ways and harder to just be. So now I'm thinking, is this version of you the one observing your life, or the one the world sees while you just try to fit in? But here's the interesting twist. Awareness changes the whole game. Once you notice the patterns, the scripts, the autopilot behaviors, you can start separating the observer from the performer. You can choose moments to step back, to watch, to really feel. It doesn't have to be dramatic, it can be small. Pausing before speaking, noticing why you reacted the way you did, or just observing your own thoughts without judgment. Which makes me wonder, what would happen if you spent an entire day simply observing your life, without trying to perform at all? And here's the fun, slightly unsettling part. Sometimes you realize the line between observer and performer is blurry. You watch yourself, then laugh at yourself, then realize even the act of observing is part of a performance. It's recursive, almost like life is folding in on itself, a loop where self-awareness becomes another layer of role-playing. Which makes me think, is anyone ever fully just themselves? Or are we all layers of observation and performance intertwined? So yeah, sometimes life feels like a stage. Sometimes you're the actor, sometimes the audience, and sometimes both at the same time. And maybe that's the point. Not to solve it, but to notice it, explore it, and play in that space a little. Or maybe it's just hilarious that we spend so much time acting when no one's grading us anyway. I don't know. But if you're watching yourself right now, are you the observer or the actor? If this got you pausing and noticing yourself a little differently, leave a like. Drop your thoughts in the comments about which role you think you're playing, and tell me what we should explore next. And if you want to keep wondering these thought loops with me, subscribe. Let's keep observing, questioning, and rambling together. Alright, I'm done thinking for now. Or at least this version of me thinks it is.